You've been trying hard in physics and still feels like nothing is working. You study, you take notes, you watch videos, and somehow, when it's time to solve problems, everything falls apart. I'm the physics sensei, PhD in physics, black belt in karate, and 30 years teaching college students just like you. My job is simple to train you the right way. So physics becomes something you can do, not something you fear. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a complete foundation system using 5 lessons, each one designed to make physics feels clearer, easier, and more predictable. And if you keep doing things the same way, you already know what happens. More confusion, more stress, more missed points, and eventually a real risk to your grade. Doing nothing, it's the most expensive choice. It costs you time, it costs you confidence, and it costs you your performance. And today, I'm going to show you why you're stuck and how to finally move forward. Physics feels hard for one reason. You've never been taught to train for it. Not how to memorize, not how to take notes, not how to copy examples. Train. Because physics, it's a performance skill, not a memory test. Let's start with the first reason physics feels overwhelming, the part you feel every time you open a problem. Here's what really happening when physics suddenly feels impossible. You've been trying hard in physics and you still feel stuck. And it's not because you're bad at this. It's because no one ever showed you the right way to train. So in this video, I'll show you why physics feels hard and how to fix that in 3 simple steps. Let's talk about why physics feels so hard and difficult. And it's not for the reason you think. It's not because you are bad at math, and it's not because you are not a physics person. The real reason why physics feels hard is because you're using the wrong approach. You try a problem once, and if you get it right, you move on. And if you get stuck, you also move on. You never see that problem again. You never come back to train the steps. And that means you only get 1 rep per problem, and 1 rep never builds a skill. The second reason why physics feels so hard is because you treat a physics problem as a big task to finish. You focus on the final answer instead of the steps to take you there. You don't break it into steps. You don't repeat the steps and you don't train the steps. So every problem feels new and heavy. When you try to do everything at once, your mind gets flooded. But when you train one small move at a time, things become simple. In the dojo, nobody learns a full kata in 1 rep. We break the kata into a small moves. We train each move again and again until it feels natural. The physics problem, it's like a kata made of steps. Train the steps, and the whole problem becomes easier. So here's what you can do to fix that. First, do something easy. Pick one problem you already solved. Identify the first step and repeat only that first step. Not the whole problem, just the first move. You're not looking for the answer, you're training the process. Next, add a little challenge. Take 3 problems you already solved and repeat only their first step. Take your time, make it clean, focus on the first step only. This builds confidence and skill. Last, give yourself a small push. Pick 3 new problems you haven't solved yet. Don't try to solve them, just figure out the first step. That's it. Clean reps, small moves, real progress. This might look simple and easy, and that is exactly why it works. Skill grows by repeating simple steps, not by fighting the whole problem at once. Train the basics, build your foundation, let consistency become your advantage. If that is why physics feels heavy from the start, then the next question it's obvious. Why are you improving even though you're working so hard? You've been studying hard, putting in more hours, and somehow you still feel lost in physics. You're wondering, why isn't this working? It's not because you are slow, and it's not because everyone else is smarter than you. It's because you're being using the wrong kind of practice. So in this video, I'll show you why studying more doesn't work and how to fix that in 3 simple steps. Let's talk about something you've probably been told your whole life. If you're struggling, study more. But in physics, studying more is not the issue. Studying the wrong way is. Because physics is not a subject you memorize, it's a performance skill, like karate, like playing an instrument, like learning a sport. Hours alone mean nothing if the reps are not the right kind. Here's the trap you've been falling into. You read the chapter again, you watch more videos, you highlight or underline and review the notes. But none of these activities train the skill you actually need, solving problems from scratch without help. And here's the truth you probably know but never name. The more you study without training the right skill, the more overwhelmed and frustrated you become because your effort increases, but your results don't. In the dojo, you can practice a kick 200 times, but if your form is wrong, you're only getting better at the wrong movement. More reps with bad technique makes the problem even worse. Physics works the same way. So let me show you how to fix this. First, do something easy. Take one problem you already solved and solve it again, but this time with no notes and no examples. Slow, clean, and focus. Next, add a little challenge. Pick 3 more problems you've solved before and redo each problem from scratch. Time yourself if you can, but don't rush. Train the process. Last, give yourself a small push. Choose one new problem you've never solved. Try it on your own first before looking at any example. Even if you can't finish it, you're training the right reps. This is how you build your skills. This might look simple and easy, and that is exactly why it works. Skill grows by repeating the right steps, not by doing more hours of the wrong work. Train the basics, build your foundation, let consistency become your advantage. Now you understand why improvement stalls. But what about those moments when your mind just shuts down? There's a reason you freeze before you even take the first step. And once you understand this, everything changes. You probably noticed this. You start a physics problem, and within a minute, you're confused, overwhelmed, or stuck in the wrong direction. And you think, I don't know enough, I'm bad at this. But that's not the real issue. The problem isn't your intelligence, it's your setup. So, in this video, I'll show you why your setup decides whether you solve the problem or you get stuck and how to fix that in 3 simple steps. Most students jump into solving too fast. They write equations before understanding the situation. They plug the numbers before seeing the relationships. They start calculating without a clear plan. And of course, they get lost. You can't solve what you haven't set up correctly. Because physics is not just about getting the answer, it's about building the map. When the map is clear, the path is obvious. When the map is messy, every step feels like guessing. If your diagram is unclear, your knowns and unknowns are mixed. Your variables are not labeled. Your givens aren't organized. Then the entire problem becomes heavier than it should be. It feels impossible even though the physics might be simple. And here's the painful truth. Every time you skip the setup, you double the difficulty. You create your own confusion and you blame yourself when the problem was never given a fair chance. In the dojo, If your stance is wrong, every move that follows is wrong. Your power is off. Your balance is off. Your timing is off. Setup determines success, and physics is the same. Good setup creates easy problems. Bad setup creates impossible ones. So let me show you how to fix this. First, do something easy. Take one problem you have already solved, ignore the solution. Just do the setup. Draw the diagram, list the knowns, identify the unknowns. Stop there. You're training clarity. You're not solving yet. Next, add a little challenge. Find three problems you solved before and do the setup for each one. Clean and slow. Diagrams, labels, variables, knowns, unknowns, but no equations yet, just the structure of the problem. Last, give yourself a small push. Pick one new problem and do only the setup. Don't solve it, just build the map, and if the setup is clean, the solution will almost fall out on its own. This might look simple and easy, and that is exactly why it works. Skill grows by repeating simple steps, not by rushing into the algebra. Train the basics, build your foundation, and let consistency become your advantage. So now you're not frozen. You know how to begin, but now you face another trap. One almost every physics student falls into. You are trying to memorize your way through physics, and that will never work. You know that moment. You open a physics problem and you freeze. Your mind goes blank. You don't know where to begin, and you think something is wrong with you. But nothing is wrong with you. You've just missing the train first move. So in this video, I'll show you why you freeze at the start of a problem and how to fix that in three simple steps. That moment when you freeze doesn't mean you don't understand physics. It means your brain has no trained first step. When there's no first step, everything feels overwhelming, and overwhelm makes you freeze. Physics problems look huge because you're seeing the whole mountain, but your brain only needs the first foothold. Once the first foothold is trained, the rest of the problem becomes lighter. Here's the hidden cost no one tells you about. When you freeze at the beginning, your confidence drops, your stress rises, and you waste time feeling stuck instead of training momentum. The first move is everything. You don't freeze because you lack the ability. You freeze because you lack a system, and a system removes fear. In the dojo, when you learn a new kata, you always start from the same ready stance. The stance brings focus, calm, and structure. It tells your mind, I know where I am, I know where to do first. Physics needs the same ready stance, the first move you always begin with. So let me show you how to build that first move today. First, do something easy. Pick any problem you already solved and train only the first step. Write down the known values. That's it. Don't draw, don't solve, just write the known. This removes the fear of starting. Next, add a little challenge. Take three solved problems and train only their first step again. Write the knowns. State what the problem is asking and stop there. You're not solving, you're just practicing momentum. Last, give yourself a small push. Pick one new problem and only do the first step. Don't solve the rest, just start it. Starting without freezing is the skill. This might look simple and easy, and this is exactly why it works. Skill grows by repeating simple steps, not by waiting for confidence to magically appear. Gain the basics, build your foundation, and let consistency become your advantage. If memorizing doesn't work, then what does? What makes a problem actually solvable? It all comes down with one thing: your setup, your stance, your foundation. You probably tried this before. You memorize formulas, you memorize steps, you memorize examples. And then the test comes and everything falls apart. You're not failing because you forgot. You're failing because physics cannot be memorized. So in this video, I'll show you why memorizing never works in physics and how to fix that in 3 simple steps. So here's the truth. When you memorize, you are trying to copy the surface of physics instead of learning the skill underneath. Physics is not a list of facts, it's a set of moves, and memorizing moves never makes you good at them. Think about this. If you memorize 5 example problems and the test gives you something that looks different, your memory can help you. Your skill is what carries you. And right now, your skill is not being trained. Your memory is. Memorizing creates a dangerous illusion. You feel productive, but you're not learning how to think in physics. You're not learning how to recognize the situation, select the right idea, and build the solution. That's why you freeze when the problem changes, even just a little bit. Memorizing is fast, but it collapses the moment the problem shifts. Real physics skill is slow at first, but it becomes automatic, reliable, and strong. In the dojo, you cannot memorize a kata. You train the moves, you feel the moves, you understand why each part is there. If you only memorize the shape, your kata falls apart under pressure. In physics, it's the same. Skill beats memory every time. So let me show you how to train skill instead of memory. First, do something easy. Take one formula you always forget. Instead of memorizing it, write down what it means and when you should use it. Just one sentence. This builds understanding. Next, add a little challenge. Pick 3 problems that use that formula and do only the identification step. Where does the formula apply? Why does this formula apply? And stop there. Not solving yet. This trains recognition. Last, give yourself a small push. Choose one new problem and ask yourself, which idea fits this situation? Don't look at your notes, don't memorize, just reason it out. That's the muscle you've been missing. This might look simple and easy, and that's exactly why it works. Skill grows by repeating simple steps, not by stuffing your brain with formulas you will forget under pressure. Train the basics, build your foundation, and let consistency become your advantage. Everything we covered today comes down to one idea. Physics is not a talent, and it's not a gift. It is not something other people just get. It's a trained skill. And the truth is this, you're not behind, you're just untrained. And untrained, it's fixable. Remember this, every black belt was once a white belt, and every master started as a beginner. Repetition made them strong, not talent. The same is true in physics, and the same could be true for you. Let's bring this all together. 1. Physics feels hard because you are solving problems the wrong way. 2. You don't improve because you never study your mistakes. 3. You freeze because you don't know the first step. 4. Memorizing fails because physics requires recognition. 5. When you skip the setup, the whole problem collapses. These 5 lessons are the foundation of everything else you will learn. If this training gave you clarity today, then understand something important. This is just the beginning of your transformation. Physics is made of many skills, and what you learn today is only the first layer. The other videos on this channel teach you the next skills you need for real success. How to build speed, how to avoid careless mistakes, how to study without burning out, how to prepare for exams. Every step has a path. And now you have a choice. You can try to do this all alone, the same way most students do. and struggle with the same problems week after week. Or you can get guidance, structure, and coaching inside the dojo so you can grow faster and with less stress. In the dojo, you don't just watch videos, you train. You get daily reps, private tools, and a system built to make you stronger every week. If you want to keep building your foundation, try the free demo and experience the dojo for yourself. Your next rep is waiting. I'll see you inside.